From New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Wendy's sounding off on all the hottest topics. And Monique is here, talking about her new movie, Blackbird, and her latest Hollywood controversy. Plus, People Magazine's got the inside scoop on why Sandra Bullock was named the world's most beautiful. And Wendy kicks off her spring cha-ching giveaway that could mean big money for you. Now, here's Wendy!
Right back at you. Yeah! Hello. Thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Most turned out audience on daytime TV. Don't you forget it. My co-host. I'm doing great today. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you. Wow. What a reception. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I love you more. Thank you. It's so funny because, you know, we're in our 6th season of this show, and every day when those doors open feels like the first day ever. I am so grateful. Thank you so much for watching. So, I have something for you if you've been paying attention to the show. Well, starting today, we're kicking off Wendy's Spring Cha-Ching. So, here's how it works. Here's how it works. Later in the show, I'm going to call a lucky Wendy watcher live on the air. And if that Wendy watcher can correctly answer a question about our show, then you could win up to $5,000. So make sure you're watching, probably with a pencil and paper. Make sure that you watch so you can write stuff down, because I might be calling you, okay? This thing with Bruce is getting so real. Okay, did you see the cover of, I mean, I guess you could have gone online, but in New York, it was the most important story. It was on the cover of the New York Daily News. Bruce in a dress. Take a look. My co-hosts are so opinionated, that's why they're here. I love that. I love that. Okay, let me just bring you through the story and how this all came about. First of all, he looks better in this dress than a lot of women. No, and that's a compliment. I mean, you know, he goes out at the boobs, he comes in at the waist, he even looks like he has a little hip, but that could be the horizontal stripe thing. Anyway, okay, so Bruce purposely bought a really, really ultra down low place in Malibu to live a private life. There it is. It looks like it's an ancient ruin, doesn't it? Like the texture of the house, it almost looks like it's falling down. Anyway, there's a pool and there's, you know, it's very secluded. I think that this is a long lens paparazzi, which, by the way, they say that that is illegal in California. And they really had to go out of their way with this because Bruce lives on top of a hill to avoid all of this. Now, I was reading this morning coming into work on RadarOnline.com. They were saying that Bruce always dresses like a woman at home now. He likes womanly clothes and lingerie, and when his children show up, that's how they greet their dad, and they're fine with it, which I don't believe. You know, we have some conspiracy theorists at the show who, basically all of them except for me, think that Bruce staged this to drive business to tomorrow night's interview, Sit Down with Diane Sawyer. Everything is not staged for ratings, though. I think that Bruce went outside to smoke a cigarette. You know, people who still smoke, very few of you actually smoke in your house, right? Even when you live by yourself, don't you always go outside because you kind of feel bad about still smoking and you don't want the functified smell in your house, you know? So I believe that Bruce went outside to smoke a cigarette. I don't believe that this special tomorrow night with Diane Sawyer, which is 2 juicy hours, needs any more publicity to it. They don't need to create stunts for you all to watch. I mean, I guess everybody will be watching except for me and the 1,000 people who will be watching me do my one-woman sit-down show in Detroit. And I am coming with jokes. Doors open up at 8 o'clock, so on account of my schedule with the comedy, I won't be able to watch Bruce. But you wanna know what? You're gonna be shocked that I say this, because you know I'm nosy. And I've made an almost 30-year career of telling you what I'm nosy about and giving an opinion. But I've reached a point with Bruce where even if I was home, the only reason I'd watch is because I know that on Monday, this is the biggest story and I have to watch. If this wasn't an obligation due to my career, I wouldn't watch. I know, you're shocked. I'm nosy, I know. But let me tell you why I wouldn't watch. I wouldn't watch because you know what? I feel duped by Bruce. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when we started watching that show with remember with the whistles and they were all cute? And then that woman would boss Bruce around and the girls would run roughshod over him. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, I felt compassion for Bruce. And he was supposed to be the rock of the family. And I don't feel duped because he's turning into a woman. I feel duped because he's the same fame whore as the rest of the family. I feel duped. You know what I mean? And so, because of that, if I was just Wendy, a common citizen, and not Wendy, the talk show host with, has to watch this, if I didn't have to watch this, I wouldn't watch it. That's how I feel. And here's the other part of it. I'm pissed at Bruce because he was supposed to be the rock and so solid. He's the one who wrangles the girls in when they do too much. Bruce has a daughter who's 17 involved with a 25-year-old father of one. A 25-year-old father of one, and she's a high school dropout, and she's messing with her face, looks like, and her boobs, and her behind, way too early in life. Bruce has bigger fish to fry than turning into Belinda. I'm just saying. And and one more thing. You know, I'm all for and very happy for anybody who lives in their own truth, including Bruce transitioning. But he should have thought about that before having all the kids. Like, you've got kids to explain to, and you can't tell me that Kylie is the only one not going along with this. Belinda, shame on you. Lemony. Sherry Shepherd, you are the mother. You heard about this, of course you have. No? Okay, well that's what I'm here for. Okay, look. Remember, oof. Ooh. And he's only 44. That's why when my people say black don't crack, you better think again. You better think again. This man looks at least 64. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, Sherry, I've been easy on you because it's hard for me to be hard on you because we're peers in the name of daytime. Even though you're not there anymore, we'll always be peers in the name of that. We're also, we've also forged, a friendship, so it's difficult. I mean, not friendship like I'm calling Sherry, hey girl, what's up? But you know what we are, Sherry, and I love you. And sometimes it's very difficult for me to be honest when I forged a relationship with people, which is why after the show, I don't hang out with celebrities. I go back to Jersey and close the blinds. But today, I'm gonna call it the way I see it, and Sherry, you doggone right you gotta pay child support. I mean, if this was a guy, we'd be calling him a deadbeat dad. If you don't pay child support for this baby boy, then you're a deadbeat mom. And it's a shame that you don't have The View anymore, and I don't know whether, is the game show still on? The Newlywed?
We don't think so.
Not on, okay, so, but she's not unemployed because she has a movie coming out, Ride Along 2 is coming out. But anyway, okay, the surrogate. They had the baby via the surrogate. They used his sperm, and I can't. They used his sperm and apparently the egg from the woman in Pennsylvania who's a data entry clerk who's already a mother of 2, okay? It's not the woman's fault that she and this wildebeest, It's not the surrogate's fault that Sherry and he got a divorce. An agreement is an agreement, and Sherry, it's so unfortunate because every time you see that little boy, you're gonna see no parts of you and all of that. It's like Bethenny Frankel. That little girl looks nothing like Bethenny. All she sees is Jason all day long, which is, You know, kids are a blessing, but once you get the divorce and you hate somebody, you don't want any reminders. Anyway, look. So remember, Sherry's ex, Lamar, sued her after she refused to claim the baby via surrogate. She wouldn't even sign the baby papers. But, I mean, what do you call that? The birth certificate. You would think I'm not a mom myself. I forget so much. Anyway, the judge in Pennsylvania, because this is where the surrogate lives, ruled that Sherry is the legal mother, which means that she now has to pay Lamar child support. Now, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. But when you started dating him, and I realized that you met him at Niecy Nash's barbecue, so you probably assumed that, she probably assumed that she had some reasonable career, because Niecy's not gonna hang out with a bum, you know what I mean? And then, not for nothing, Sherry, in my mind, I think that you got carried away with the idea of, oh my gosh, we can have a wedding special, and my popularity on The View to solidify my seat will be better than ever because I can talk about it, and I think that you might have gotten swept away with a career move because you were so successful before this guy. If I were you, not for nothing, if I was a Sherry Shepherd, I would have spent a little bit of money on checking this guy out. Just to be sure that it's gonna be good for me and my son, Jeffrey. She's got a son, do you know what I'm saying? And you didn't do your checking, but we did some checking. And we found out that he's on California Medicaid. Yes, this is what I'm saying. Sal is on Medi-Cal, which is welfare health insurance in California. Sal is an opportunist from way back, it looks like. I don't know whether Sal is employed or what. Sherry, you made this bed. Now, unfortunately, girl, you gotta lie on that sword. We'll move along. Please, let's move along quickly. And Ariana Grande, you keep doing what you do. Now, she's no longer with the rapper Big Sean. They were dating for 8 months. It was announced like 2 days ago on Hot Topics that they're no longer together. Big Sean is 27, and she is 21. And Sean reportedly, one of the problems in the relationship, he reportedly thought that she was immature and selfish and put her career first. Well, excuse me. Attention all 21-year-old girls and boys from far and wide. At 21, you're supposed to be selfish and put your career first. Yeah. I mean, I graduated from college, I was 21 years old, and I had a boyfriend for my whole senior year. But I knew that once I walked across the stage and grabbed my diploma, that I'd be breaking up in the name of selfishness. Like, I'm not doing a long-distance relationship. I'm not, yeah. Like, my priorities regarding boyfriends have always been pretty straight. It's not that the fella did anything bad to me or whatnot, but he was in Boston. As a when you get your first job, you're not making a bunch of money. You're just happy to have a job. I'm not gonna spend my money on long distance calls. I'm not gonna not date because of some boyfriend in Boston. And furthermore, you are not more important than my career at 21. Now, well, and that's the way it should be, right? Now, I was reminded that Big Sean has flown all around the world to support her and participate in everything. And I said, okay, that's nice, but guess what? I knew who Big Sean was before Ariana Grande, but how many people in this audience by claps did not know who Big Sean was? Clap. Thank you. Thank you. Big Sean, I love you. I know you've been here and the whole bit, but I'm gonna be real with you. She upgraded you. I mean, no disrespect, but it would have behooved you to follow her all around the world and her career and get as many pictures taken with her as possible, because even though I knew exactly who you are, but now even more people know who you are, and that's the way you get your thing off in this entertainment field. Now, the reason that she didn't show, he had this, the last straw was, the night before the Grammys, and she was supposed to perform at the Grammys. The night before the Grammys, he had a big party. And performed, and everybody was there, from Jennifer Lopez, show the picture, everybody was there. Kanye and Kim and Jennifer Lopez and Chris Brown, and everybody was there to support him except for Ariana Grande. Excuse me, she was prepping for the Grammys the next day. On one hand, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now, okay? If she cared, then what she would have done is she would have prepped for the Grammys a hard month before so she could be free to support her man the night before. But live and you learn. Good luck to all parties involved. Okay. Have you heard about Kylie Jenner's lip challenge? Oh, okay, it's contra. Clap if you've heard about it. Okay. First of all, Bruce or Belinda or whoever you are, this is exactly why you need to pay attention to your kids and put your own selfishness on. I know you're 65, but this girl is 17. And she's denying getting work done, so we'll go with that. By the way, money well spent. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And this right here, and then this down here, and this all right here, and show the before picture. Okay. Her nose looks thinner. It looks like maybe a little liposuction to chisel the jaw or something, or maybe a little jaw implant. Clearly something going on with the lips, and we don't talk about the boobs because that looks pretty obvious. Bruce, your priorities are all screwed up. They really are. Okay, so anyway, back to the lips, okay? By the way, I tried this, it didn't work. I don't feel like messing up my lipstick right now. Look, they call it the Kylie Jenner lip challenge, and it went viral this week. It's where teens try to make their lips look bigger by sucking on, on a bottle. On a bottle. They pull their lips all the way into the bottle. No, I've got receipts. Take a look.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now, it looks like a shot glass works better than the bottle, but you know they say don't try this at home because it can cause permanent damage and all kinds of swelling and bruising and lots of pain. And anyway, and she has 20 million Facebook followers. And let me just say, people are very, very up in arms saying that she has a responsibility to those Facebook followers. You know what I say? No, she doesn't. No, she does not. You have a responsibility to school your own kids. Kylie's out there living her life like it's golden.